Welcome to Sports Bras and Beer. My name is Allie BR. I'll be your host, and today we're talking to one of my favorite people ever, bass player Sherry Tennille Peterson. We're going to talk about all sorts of things, so let's crack some beers. All right, Sherry, what are you drinking right now, currently? I like to have beers over the interview, but you don't have to drink anything if you don't want to.
I was drinking a Coke.
Awesome. What is your go-to kind of like beer drink? I know you're kind of a bourbon gal. Is that right?
Yeah, the whiskey and the bourbon, any of that is really.
Any of that? Do you have a kind, like a brand?
I like Belle Meade. It's really good.
Ooh, that is a good one. Second question. You're going to love this one. What kind of bra are you wearing?
A push-up with lace?
A push-up. I like how you answer that in a question. A push-up, question mark? What kind of bras do you normally wear on stage? Like, do you have a stage bra or a show bra? Because I definitely do, but not everybody does.
Mean, definitely like Victoria's Secret. You know, you got to get those girls up there. Got to get them perky. They need to be ready to slap with the bass. Like,
oh yeah,
they got to be popping. They ain't popping. The bass ain't popping.
The boobs ain't popping. The bass ain't popping. Sherry Peterson.
No, if it's flat, it's flat, you know?
That's so true. So we're going to kind of dive into some music questions now. When did you first kind of get into music and start playing music?
Well, definitely, I was always playing like piano ever since elementary school, like classical, but I didn't really get into other genres until middle school when my brothers started playing guitar and drums, and I just wanted to copy them and be a part of the plays.
So it kind of started because they started playing music and you wanted to play too?
Yes.
Cool. So was your first band with your brothers, or were you in any other band before that?
Yeah, I think, I was always in like choir or like concert band, what have you, like the classically trained stuff. But the first band that we were in was a band called Spiral Fracture. And then we also had a second band that was like a Christian rock band. And I can't remember what that's called, but we were some hot stuff. We had some Christian girls like losing their shit. We were like the badass cool ones, like, ooh.
The cool Christian rock band, the badass Christian rock band.
Yes, that is where all the action is at, Allie. Like,
is it really? That's like the scene? Is it like a lot of drugs and stuff? Or
a lot of making out.
A lot of making out? Because I remember there's a Christian like college in my hometown, and they always had really good parties. So I feel
it's like you partying. It's like a form of letting loose. Like, I think after all this like quarantine shit is over, I think we're gonna have like the best parties ever.
Oh yeah, I think so many people are going to go out to shows after this too, like, because nobody wants to be in their house anymore when it's over. I mean, everyone's going to be like, everything. So people are going to be way more willing to like go out on a Wednesday night at 9:30 to see a band because they couldn't do that for a while. So I think things are going to explode. But yeah, you're right. Good parties are afoot. So how did you guys kind of get into rock and stuff because of your brothers? Was that kind of like a Randy thing, or were you guys just kind of all influenced by a similar thing?
Yeah, it was probably a lot to do with my dad and the records and the music we listened to growing up more than anything. My dad used to run sound in the 70s for a band called Oconee, and we eventually got the guitar player Bobby Carr in a band with us, and we formed Hot with Hairy Legs. But
oh, cool.
We were very like, Ozzy influenced and Allman Brothers. And we're from Georgia and we're right next to Macon, Georgia. So we're very deep South influenced.
Cool. I didn't know your dad did live sound. That's awesome.
He did. And he can't hear for shit now.
Was he a musician also, or was he just a sound guy?
Just a sound guy. Like, I think he was there for the party. I'm here for the party. That's going to be my slogan for 2021 is I'm here for the party.
Doesn't Vein Therapy have a I'm here for the party? No.
Yeah, to the party.
Oh, to the party. Okay. I knew it had something to do with the party. So what's it like, I know you're in a lot of different bands, but what's it like playing with your brothers specifically, especially being a twin? Does it ever get frustrating at times?
I think definitely so, because like when you're in a band with your siblings, like nothing is held back. Like honesty just comes out, and like, but they know how to say things in a way that is purposely to piss you off or make you defensive. You know what I mean? Like they don't try to approach things in a positive manner. It's just, how can I make Sherry lose her shit and throw her bass through the fucking wall? You know what I mean? Like
Damn.
that's what siblings do to each other. And it was fun. Like in one way, it's like you always know you have each other. So it's like you could get to the point where you're basically, could kill each other. And then the next day you're fine. I love you, man. And like, a lot of times in other groups, you can't do that.
Right. Because you're not related. So it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Do you think, because Sean, your twin, do you think that you and Sean sometimes gang up on your other brother because you're twins? Like, do you guys have a different kind of bond?
Most definitely we do. But the funny thing is because we're a threesome.
Whoa.
It's always more like there's always 2 against 1. Usually it is twin and I against our older brother Randy, but it can in just a snap, just a flash, it can switch. And next thing you know, they're against me, or me and Randy are against Sean. Like it can just change. Like we would literally be in the yard fighting each other, fist fighting, wrestling like kids. And one minute we're going against one of them, and then the next second, you're the one running, and those 2 are chasing you, and you're like, "What the fuck did I do?" So that's the magnitude of 3.
Right, that would be kind of hard because someone is always on someone's side. You're always against someone. That is tricky to deal with.
Someone's a little bitch all the time.
Like, who's going to be the bitch today?
I don't know. It could be me.
Do you and Sean ever have like twin telepathy powers or whatever they call it? Like, do you guys connect to each other without talking ever?
Sometimes. Well, he claims that I have it and he doesn't, but he totally has it and doesn't realize it. One time I was having like a really bad nightmare. And it was when we weren't even living together, which by the way, my 34-year-old twin brother lives with me right now. But
he's going to love if I just leave that in there and just post that on the internet.
Yeah.
Just tell everybody.
Single, ladies, single, blue eyes. But yeah,
he looks just like Sherry, but a man.
But a man, yeah. I mean, people tell me he's a man. Baby pictures prove it. I don't know.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Well, I was having a nightmare, and I just woke up like dripping in sweat, like freaking the fuck out. And it's 2 a.m, and all of a sudden my phone just rings, and I look over, and it's twin. And I answer. I was like, "Hello," and he was like, "Hello." I was like, "Hey." He's like, "Something told me to call you. Are you okay?" And I was like, "No, I'm not. I just had a crazy ass dream, but I think this is crazier." Like, how did you know?
That is crazy. That's awesome.
He's like, "I don't know. Something just told me to call you because, I mean, I'm lame. I usually go to bed at like 9:00 at night. Like, I'm a pretty lame motherfucker." So, and that was funny.
That's crazy. Do you think being a twin ever affects the way you guys play? Because you're both the rhythm section. He plays the drums and you play the bass. Do you think that it, in a way, makes you better players because you're connected? Or do you think it's just whatever?
Yes and no. I think if we go with the twin thing, yes. But the sibling thing, no. Because sometimes siblings fight with each other, even like musically. So like you're in your head, you're going, they're rushing, I need to hold back. But in their head, they're going, well, they're holding back, I need to pick this up because they're dragging. And you end up, instead of ever admitting someone's wrong and going with the flow, you end up conflicting. And so we have to work, I feel like, even harder to sound cohesive because of that.
I feel like it would be kind of weird to play in a band with your brothers, but I guess it probably in a way makes you closer, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like, you think you have a better relationship than people that don't play in a band together?
For sure. I'm probably one of the only people I know that literally talks or hangs out with their brothers every day.
Yeah. Yeah, not a lot of people do that.
I think those people are fucking weird. Call your brother.
I don't talk to my brother every day.
Even if it's just to say, I hate you, why were you born? Call your brother.
Oh, how sweet.
Remind them that you still exist.
what bands have you been, obviously the Down Squad, our band, but what bands have you been in that do not have your brothers in them? Are there a lot or just a few?
Just a few. And honestly, other than the Down Squad, I don't remember the names of the other bands.
Yeah, because I was trying to think of other bands that just you've been in, and everything I could think of had either Randy and or Sean. So the only thing I could think of was our band, the Down Squad.
Yeah, I saw you and I was like, I gotta have her, but you already had a drummer, you already had a guitar player, so.
Well, you got me and I got you.
We are family.
Hell yeah. Do you think, is it kind of weird playing in a band without your brothers, or does it not really bother you at all? You don't think of it?
I mean, it doesn't bother me because I have played so long that I don't need them. They're not like my crutch.
Right, because you're just kind of a natural musician. I always tell people you're like the best bass player ever, and I'm not even joking. Like, you're fucking amazing. Yes, you're amazing. You're incredible. And like your stage presence too. It's just like you were literally like, you were born and you were just born to be on the stage. It's ridiculous.
I'm definitely missing it right now.
Oh, me too. I want to talk a little bit about, I know you do some teaching for like bass lessons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Is that something you really like doing, or is that something you kind of just stumbled on?
Yeah, I actually, I've always been told I should be a life coach. I love to teach. I love to help people. It like gives me purpose.
You'd be a great life coach, honestly. I could see that because I've never heard you say anything negative ever.
Really?
And you're always, seriously, and you're always smiling. Like, you can take the most shitty thing and make it sound amazing. It's true.
Man, I was pretty negative this weekend about not having Easter. Like, you know, I'm from Georgia. Like, I was so upset about not being able to eat all that food with my family this weekend. I was pretty down.
Aw, I'm sorry.
So you could have heard a lot of negative shit out of my house this weekend.
I doubt it. So you really like teaching bass lessons? Are you still doing it even though we're quarantined? Are you doing it on Zoom and stuff?
Yeah, we're doing it on Zoom. Yeah, I love it. So I have like sorry, I guess I'm trailing off. I have like
no, you're good. Trail away. I love it. The more stuff I have, the better. So rant away.
I just wanted people to be aware that I'm aware, that I know that I'm taking what you asked and I'm moving it to another level.
That's perfect. Level up. Do it. I'm ready.
But like, so my youngest student that I've ever had was probably 5. And then my oldest student is like in their 50s. And I love it because the brain learns so differently from that younger age than the older age. Like on the older age, one of my students has dyslexia. Like they'll be playing and they'll be playing the right hand part in the left hand and the left hand part in the right hand, like piano, because I do piano as well, and not even realize it. And I'm like, people try to do that on purpose and cannot do that. And you're like just doing it and not even realizing it. Like that is amazing.
That's crazy.
But then like 5-year-olds and stuff, they pick up what you teach them so fast. And I can see it. Like I remember when my brain used to be that fast and it's not that fast anymore, you know? They just pick it up so fast. And you almost feel like that you need to walk them through stuff slow, but you don't. You need to give them more and more. They got it.
They just need more information.
We're the ones holding them back.
Oh, yeah, because we're old. Do you think it's harder to teach older people then? Like, is it more challenging or is it just a little bit different?
I think it is harder to teach older people because with anything, the older you get, the more you bring with you. And I don't want to say baggage, but the more things that you were taught, ways you were raised, how you learn, all these things that are embedded in you over time. You tell yourself, not you, but like me, for example, I'm like, I can't sing. You know what I mean? But can I really not sing, or can I just not sing because I've told myself I can't sing, and therefore every time I try to practice or something like that, it sounds terrible and I just give up because I'm like, this is terrible. Whereas like,
yeah, you're like holding your own self back.
Yeah, but kids, they don't have that. They don't know who they are at that age. They don't have this, like, and we don't, the funny thing is we don't know who we are, just like they don't know who they are, but we think we know, and therefore we're holding ourselves back.
But that makes sense, though. Like you do have kind of, I guess, baggage in your head of things you think you can and can't do. Because a lot of people say like, "Oh, I can't sing," just like you said, but they probably really can. They just have believed their whole lives that they can't.
Or like,
and they need someone like Sherry to tell them that they
and
can.
since we're talking about women in general, I noticed like my women students in general have more of that, like, oh, I messed up, or oh, I fucked up, or oh, I did this wrong. Oh, I'm so terrible at this. And I don't know, like, if it's because it's a gender thing, but I feel like as women, we do that a lot.
Oh, yeah.
When
absolutely.
the men fuck up just as much as we do. Yeah. And the interesting thing is with some of my students, they'll play a specific line perfectly, but because they're so used to saying, oh, I messed up, or oh, I did this wrong, it's like almost like they get done and then their shoulders drop and they're like, oh, I messed up. Like that's the initial reaction, even when it was perfect. And I find that puzzling,
Yeah, it is puzzling.
Like, did you not hear what I just heard? That was fucking amazing. Let's get out the cherubs and the harps and let's go to fucking town.
I love your passion for teaching. I never realized, like, I knew you liked it, but I never knew how really into it you were.
I like it other than waking up early on Saturday morning.
Yeah. How do you get, like, new students and stuff? Do they just kind of come to you from word of mouth?
No, they come to us from the store, working out of Ovation Music and Studios, beauty store.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Cool. So they just kind of come to the store and then you're like the bass player of the store that's kind of like, and keys.
Yeah.
Cool. That's very cool. So do you think you want to just like do more of that in the future and just keep teaching?
Yeah, I definitely want to do more of that. I don't know. I want to do a lot of things, but I like to be good at things. I don't like to do things I'm not good at.
Sure, unless you are good at it and you just don't know it because you think you're not good at it.
Oh my God, you just flipped it. You are so right. You are so right.
Yeah. So try everything and see if you like it.
Oh man, be a yes girl.
Be a yes girl. I love that. So how exactly did you get to Nashville from Georgia? Like how did you decide to move there?
Well, I actually moved from Georgia to like Charlotte, North Carolina to go to interior design school. And my twin brother went with me. And then my older brother was in Boston going to Berkeley for a musical engineering degree. And then him and I talked like every day. And he was like, dude, let's go to Nashville. Like Nashville's where it's at. It's kind of like the hub of playing because you're so centralized. You could do a gig in Atlanta, or you could go to Austin, or like you could go up to Chicago. Like everything's just so centralized right there in Nashville.
That is true. That is absolutely true.
I was like, hell yeah, like let's do this. Let's go to Nashville. So I moved with him to Nashville, and then a year later my twin brother was like, well, I can't stay in North Carolina without y'all. So then he followed me.
Oh, okay. So it was kind of a group family kind of move.
We don't like living without each other.
So do you like right, that's really sweet. So do you like living in Nashville? Do you think you'll stay for a while?
I'll stay forever as long as my nephews are up here. I've got a 1 and a 3-year-old nephew, and I'm not leaving them, even though I can't see them right now because they have CF. I'm not leaving their asses.
Let's see. Who are some of your favorite bass players? Like, who are your influences and some of your idols and stuff?
Ooh, yeah. I mean, I have like the classics like Victor and Jaco. I really like Thundercat. He's really cool. People like that. Laura Love, she's like an older one, really cool, folky, sings her heart out. I've got, and I know I'm going to say her name wrong, but Tal Wilkenfeld. I know I fucking said it wrong. I know I did, but if you haven't heard of her, she's incredible. You just look it up. Even if you spell it wrong, you type in girl bass player afterwards and like, it'll come up. Like she's played with, she may still play with him, Herbie Hancock. And, so she's badass.
That's cool. I've never heard of her.
Oh,
Sounds
oh my
cool.
God. You would be so in love with her. And then there's this one video of her playing bass and she's not wearing a bra and her little titty, because she has like, these cute little A cups and it's like flopped over and it's just so cute. Um, Man, to be young, like, because they have older videos of her and when she first started playing, like, I don't know. Like, I think she was just out of high school. She was just a baby. So if she was younger than 18, then please do not put that on the recording.
Oh,
But
yeah. That'd be
yeah.
awkward.
But yeah, no, she's cool. She has like a big curly hair too.
Do you ever get referred to as a girl bass player a lot? Because I feel like that's something I'm trying to shy away from. Like a couple weeks ago, Shannon and I for the Down Squad did that other podcast interview, with that guy, and we talked about kind of the phrase female fronted, and I'm trying not to use that because it shouldn't really matter. Do you think the term like girl bass player or female bass player is kind of a similar situation for you, or do you not experience that?
I kind of love it.
Oh, really? No, that's awesome. Like you own
I
it?
love the attention. And honestly, like that charity gig we did where it was all female fronted artists, like people loved it. I felt like we had a big following because of that, because people were like, they felt like they were doing their part to support their women counterparts.
Oh, you mean the Valentine's Day Massacre?
Yeah. Like people were loving it was a female fronted thing. So I think you should keep it, just my 2 cents, but I'm not like, mine's not all the sense. I don't have all the sense.
Oh no, I'm gonna keep that like for the Valentine's Day Massacre for sure. Like that's the theme of it always. I was just saying like in general, like if you go to say you and I go to the Cobra and we're just hanging out and then there's a band with all girls on stage, like we don't necessarily have to say like, oh, it's a girl band. Like, yes, it's cool that they're all girls, but like, you know what I mean? Like they're also just
no, I know what
just
you're
like
saying.
us. You know what I mean?
They're just as good as they would be if they were all guys. Either they're good or they're bad. And I'm the first one to say, if there's a girl, like I almost hold girls to a higher standard, which may be like the opposite. Some people are like, oh, look at that girl playing bass. But I'm like over there studying going, well, she's shit. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
that's right, though, because someone is excited that it's a girl, but you're like, well, she's not very good, though. Like, that's like a very like interesting and cool way to go about it, because you're like, yeah, she's a girl, but meh.
See, some people think you don't have as much to prove, but I feel like you have more to prove.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I guess it's cool that you kind of just own female bass player, girl bass player, because in a way I kind of do too, but I think eventually in the future, like, it's just not really going to matter, or hopefully, like, you'll just be a bass player. But for right now,
But that could go back to like we were talking about how like as kids we have no preconceived notions of who we are and who we should be, but people put it into us, and maybe that's why there aren't as many girl bass players or girl guitar players as there are guys, because they're not told that that's something that girls do. Girls are singers. We're keyboard players.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like Joan Jett always says, girls can play a cello, but they can't play guitar. Like, why not? What's the difference? Yeah. And it's true. It's like, okay, I can play the piano, but I can't play guitar and scream and take my shirt off and throw stuff at you. Like, why not?
Allie can certainly do all those things above.
And Sherry can jump around next to me and fuck some shit up.
Hell yeah.
God, I miss playing so much.
I know, this is terrible.
What kind of basses are you playing right now, and what's your favorite?
Yeah, well, I just have like my Modulus graphite neck 4 series. It's like, well, it's a flea series. And then like I have an Ibanez, and to be honest with you, it's a 5-string, and that's about as much as I know about it because I really don't care about the names. Like, honestly.
Oh, right.
Yeah, my Modulus right now is my favorite, but the one before that I had was a Squire, and let me tell you, like that one was actually pretty fun too. Like, it's how you make it.
It's just like the Bronco that I let you borrow sometimes. That's a Squire too, and that thing's pretty sick for what
it's really about like the innards you put in it, like the pickups and stuff like that, and then the strings you put on it, and of course your touch. That is what is a bass player, is the touch.
Ooh, that's kind of sexual. I like it.
Look, I've never had the opportunity, but I'm sure bass players can finger like a motherfucker.
Oh, I am keeping that in there. Cool. And I know for the down squad, you don't really use like a lot of pedals, but for your other projects, do you ever use pedals a lot?
Yeah, I like to use pedals. They're just unreliable though at times.
See, I wouldn't know because I don't ever use pedals.
I think I just kick them wrong and shake them up wrong. I do something, and I don't know. They're just always needing work. But I do have an envelope one that's really cool. It kind of sounds like a car wash, and I really like that one. It's about Aguilar, and it's called Envelope.
Ooh.
And it's kind of different than from what I know from other envelope pedals, but it just makes it sound like a womp, 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 like your the car wash.
Oh, cool. That's neat. What kind of amps are you playing through right now?
Yeah, I'm playing through the Aguilar. Sorry, I can't say Argular.
Argular.
Argular with you. What's Argular with you? Yeah, I'm playing an Aguilar with like an Ampeg cabinet, and that's pretty much it. I'm very simple.
I like that though. I think everyone in the down squad, especially, we're all pretty simple as far as gear goes. We're all pretty like, 3 amps, whatever.
Yeah.
1 drum set, 1 mic, here we go.
I mean, I would like to find like a distortion pedal that doesn't lose the bass in. So if anybody knows of one, hit up Allie.
Slide in my DMs, we'll talk about it. So how many projects are you currently in right now? Like how many bands?
Not really that much right now. I mean, I'm with it's quality over quantity. I'm with the Down Squad, and then I'm with Amanda Page Cornett, and then we have Vein Therapy. But yeah, just 3 right now.
Oh, wow. Because I feel like sometimes it fluctuates with you. Like sometimes you're in like 3 projects and sometimes you're like doing all sorts of things. And I kind of want to talk about how you balance all that stuff because you have a career too. For those that don't know, you're what would you call yourself? Like a bathroom designer or specialist consultant?
Yeah, I do custom cabinets for kitchens and bathrooms.
Okay. So you have like this whole career and you're like a musician in a bunch of different projects and you're married and you got dogs and a house and everything. Like how do you balance all that stuff? Do you ever just go crazy?
I love how you say dogs instead of kids because those are my kids.
Well, you know what I mean, kids, dogs, whatever.
For people who don't have kids and they go from cats to dogs, they're a lot of fucking work. And I know I sound like I don't know anything now to people that have kids, and I don't. I promise you, I'm not as wonderful and as patient as all you parents are. But it feels like it's everything in me to be working from home right now. And every time, like a freaking squirrel or like any noise, I don't know about that. Okay, so how do I balance it? I don't.
Yeah, how do you balance all your
stuff? No, I don't. I in the moment, wherever I'm at, I give that 110%. And that's the best you can do. And sometimes other things get ignored because you know what? If you try to give everything 100%, you're going to fail at everything and you're not going to be able to do it. So just give 110% in that moment to that thing.
Wow, you are so inspirational, Sherry. Oh my gosh. Will you be my life coach?
Yeah.
Can I be patient number 1?
Yeah, we can test you out first.
Okay.
As long as you don't jump off a bridge, I have passed my certification test.
I don't think I'm going to do that anytime soon.
That's nice.
We're good. Yes, I guess, do you ever just get kind of drained with all your stuff, or do you just love being super busy all the time? Is that because I know some people love to just always have something to do. Are you kind of like that?
I am until Sunday. My mom's always like, you need to go back to church. And I'm like, well, the Lord gave me a day of rest and I'm going to fucking take it. And so I can go. But then when Sunday hits, I don't want anyone in my goddamn fucking house. Like, no one's allowed in my house. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't even want sex. Like, just leave me alone. The door is closed. So
that's like your day.
I'm an extrovert, definitely, but I need one day a week to be an introvert to recap and meditate and come back to something of a semblance of a person.
Right on. That's awesome, though. I love that you live such a full life, and you do. I mean, obviously, right now with everything going on, it's not the same. But when things are normal, you have so many different things going on and your job and all this stuff. I think it's very cool because some people are lazy and they're not like
It's
that.
funny you perceive it that way because I feel like I'm lazy, and maybe that's the musician in me, but I'm always feeling like, oh, I should practice more, or I should do this more, and I should do this, and oh, we need to get this album out, or oh, we need to get this gig going, or I mean, there's like I'm probably like you, like there's so many things in my head, and how do you get it out? Like, how do you structure it? It's overwhelming at times.
Right, like, that's with me, it's like, okay, I have all these things that we could do, like, for the down squad, but then where do we start, We could start this, but then we have to wait for this, and we have to go do this, and it's, like, all these things, like, when things were normal, it was, like, all this pressure of, like, okay, what do we do now? Like, it's a very strategic kind of thing being in a band because you have to think, what should your next step be? Because it's kind of very important. But right now, it kind of, with this sort of unexpected downtime, you don't really have to think about that stuff, and it makes it easier to just like make music and be creative and talk to your creative friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The next episode should be Downtime with the Down Squad.
Downtown with the Down Squad. We are sort of doing that right now because Shannon and Wes can't be on it because they're boys.
Yeah, they suck.
No boys allowed. So I've been asking everybody, in your quarantine and isolation time, has this given you kind of time to be creative and stuff? Or I guess you're still working, so it's not exactly the same, but has this affected your like creative mind at all, really? Or no?
Not yet, because I've been working so much and I have just been so kind of like in a funk, just kind of depressed. So I'm just trying to get out of that funk and get over it and evaluate my schedule. I think the best thing we can all do right now is to have like a routine. And so I'm still trying to find out my routine. Of course, once I get it down, we'll be back to work, but I'm getting my routine down. So no, I have not been creative at all, but I have started playing Call of Duty last week and I'm getting really good at it.
Sweet. Are you guys on Xbox or PlayStation?
PlayStation.
Oh, sick. Us too. I don't have Call of Duty, though. I've been playing this game called Uncharted 4.
I think Sonny plays that.
This guy's like a treasure hunter, and you just like climb stuff and shoot stuff. It's really fun.
That sounds like right up my husband's alley. Like, we went and played
really?
I know this is off topic, but we went and played Frisbee golf. I gotta tell you this. We played Frisbee golf Saturday because it was gorgeous. Had to get out of the house.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm over there. I'm trying to get exercise, so I'm trying to keep the pace up. You throw the Frisbee. Plus, not to mention, you have people behind you. We're practicing safe distances, so, you got to keep going so no one gets on top of you, You got to keep it going. You throw your Frisbee, you go, you pick it up, you throw your Frisbee, trying to get into the goal. So we're trying to do that. Next thing I know, that motherfucker is off in some creek, like bent over looking at architectural fossils. He's like, look at this, Sherry. This is from the Mesopotamian blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, motherfucker, pick up your goddamn Frisbee and try to make that damn goal before sunset. I mean, I love him so much that I love it. And I put his fossils from the creek in the backpack and we just skipped over him. We just kept going. And then when he back up with us, he was like, you threw my fossils away, didn't you? Of course I did not, Allie. I'm not the devil. I pulled out my husband's little fossils and I said, look, baby, here they are right here. You can see the marks where there was some kind of squid cephalopedia thing wrapped around it right there. He is the cutest, and he's like, my husband's walking around with daisies in his ear hanging out of his hair, and he has long hippie hair, brown down to his butt. He's a gorgeous man, and he just has the sweetest soul. But he's not competitive. He gave no shits that he lost.
Doesn't he have to be a little bit competitive with his, what does he play, Magic, the cards and stuff? Isn't he a little bit? Or is that not a competitive game? I don't know. I've never played. Is that not competitive?
It is and it isn't. Depends on what realm you play. He plays in a realm called Old School, and then you can be competitive in that, but like it's also just for like the fun of like, okay, strategic planning. What am I going to do to achieve this? And it's really fun coming up with different. Like you almost have a terrible hand, except for you have this one card that's going to do something crazy and win the whole game, but you have to get to that card, and sometimes it takes like 10 games, and you look like a loser. Like my husband's favorite deck that he plays, we played against each other, and it was the first time I ever played against that particular deck he had built, and I was like, I don't understand what you're doing. Like, are you even trying? Like, I'm killing you every single time. What does your deck do? And then I saw what his deck did, and I was like, wow, you kicked my ass. That was badass. It was worth the 5 fucking games it took for you to do it. In a tournament setting, you would have lost. But we're at the house, we're chilling, and you kicked my ass, and that was fun. I mean, it took you 5 times, so your deck's not effective, but, you know, it was fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've never played, but
I'm competitive.
Oh, yeah, you are very competitive. That's probably why you guys work so well, because he's not and you are. Because I feel like one person has to be, like, a little bit, and then the other one probably isn't very much. Because I think Shannon is, like, really competitive, and I'm usually not. Unless there's, like, you know, like a point. You know, if I'm going to win some money or something, then I'm competitive. Other than that, I don't think I am.
Yeah,
really.
I would say Shannon and I are more alike. I don't know. On the relation, like on who's what in the relationship.
Yeah. Like competitive, you mean? Or what
yeah, competitive, and like I have to be the one that's right, and I have to be the one that's kind of in control. Although I feel like you and Sonny really rule the game, but y'all are so good at it that Shannon and I have no clue while we're running our mouths, and we have no clue.
You're so right. Because I actually wear the pants in the house, but he thinks he wears the pants, you know? It's like that kind of, like he thinks that he's in charge of stuff, but we both know he's really not. You know what I mean? But I think you are just kind of in charge of everything.
Like I think I am,
but in like a good
one
way.
time Sonny told me no, and it shocked me because he doesn't tell me no often, and he told me no one time, and I didn't even like argue with him or anything because it was so serious. I was just like, oh, all right, there it is. No.
No. What do you know? What a strange word. If you could form a dream band and one person in the band is like a famous musician and they can play any instrument you want, it could be like drums or guitar or the singer, what one person would you pick to be in your dream band?
I don't know the name of the person in the band, and Jethro Tull that plays the flute, but I want that fucking flute player.
That is the best answer that I have ever heard so far. Sorry to everyone else that's been on this, but that so far is the best answer.
Could you imagine? I want to be a Boy Scout with like a little flute going.
The flute could do the intro like with you. You guys could do the intro together.
So the best part is my mom. My mom plays the flute, right? And my mom was always
really. I didn't know that.
She was always coming out to our band practice when we were kids. We had a shed in the backyard, literally a shed, and like we would practice all the time. And it was hot, and there was no air. My mom was always like, "I want to be in y'all's band. Let me come bring my flute out." And so one day, you know, it was back when we listened to cassette tapes, right? I gave her a cassette tape of Jethro Tull, and I said, all right, Mom, here's the deal. You can come play in our rock band when you sound like this flute player.
Did she do it?
God, no. Have you heard that flute player?
But did she like try that? Like, did she try and practice? You know, was she like determined to be your flute player, or was she did she just take that as a no?
No, she was just being a mom. She wanted to be in the middle. She wanted to make sure we weren't doing dope. She wanted to make sure that we were cool, and she wanted to just be in the middle of everything, like moms do.
Yeah.
And we were not going to have a fucking flute player in our goddamn rock band, but damn, they pull it off. Damn, they pull it off.
Is that flute player still alive from Jethro Tull? Is he still living? I have no idea. Those guys are pretty old.
My dad's going to disown me for not knowing his name.
Oh, shoot. We could Google it really quick.
Oh, we probably should.
I don't know. I bet it's some like super easy name. It's probably like Jonathan Smith or something like really simple. I guarantee it. Well, we'll look it up after this. I guarantee. So it sounds like everyone in your family is super musical. Like your parents were both into music and stuff. Is that just everybody plays music in the Peterson family?
Yes, and we come from a large line of, believe it or not, you're not even going to believe me because you know me and you have preconceived notions about me because, because it's me. We come from a long line of mathematicians in my family.
Mathematicians?
Yeah,
What?
I'm related to like really smart people. And I do
Like
math all the time at my
professional,
job.
like professional mathematicians? Or like they're just,
Yeah.
yeah, really?
Like, well, like the closest ones to me did like, taxes, worked as math teachers in universities and stuff like that. But yeah, we have a whole line of people that are like,
Oh, okay. Like
yeah.
accountants.
I mean, no one that I know of that went to like MIT, but I'm sure if we like followed it down, I'm sure like they're all just so smart. And it's funny, one of my cousins is actually an architect, which is funny because I'm in interior design. And so we all sort of kind of are into the same things. And like, so they've linked math and music. They've linked those things as common ground.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like you're like a musician, like you can read music and all that stuff, which, I can't. I just, I just make noise, but you're like an actual musician. I feel like those like math and music are actually very connected. You just don't really think about it. Like when you're playing music, you don't realize that you're like doing math, like counting and time signatures and stuff like that,
Yeah, that's true. I tell people though, like I wish, because I was classically trained, so I learned how to read music first before I learned how to play. I wish I would learn to listen and play before reading and playing, because when you play a song to somebody, let's say they can't see you. They don't know if you're reading music or not. They hear. They don't see. You hear. You don't see music, you hear music. And I mean, therefore if you're on shrooms or something, then you see it or what have you, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
no, you're absolutely right.
it doesn't matter.
But they're also
What does it matter if you read music?
right. I don't think it really does that much because to me, it's always like, does it sound cool? Then cool. Like, obviously, not everybody likes the same thing. Like, not everybody likes the music that we make in the Down Squad, which I get. Not everyone's into that kind of rock and roll, but some people are like, hey, this is pretty cool. So, does it matter if I know what key signature my songs are in? Because honestly, I don't, and I don't think it matters.
It doesn't matter. And honestly, if everyone liked our music, we wouldn't play it.
Right, because then we'd be like, well, this is boring.
Yeah, then we'd be like the first album of the Beatles, which everyone just throws away.
I honestly don't really care for the Beatles. I'm probably going to get smacked for that, but I respect them as musicians, but I'm not I don't sit down and listen to the Beatles. Like I'd rather listen to the Stones. You know what I mean? But that's just kind of my personality. Yeah. I think that's just kind of.
Well, they have like great bass lines, so I definitely respect Paul because he's an amazing bass player. I knew this one girl who literally learned to play bass by learning nothing but Beatles bass lines, but that's all she would play was Beatles. That's it.
Wow, that's crazy. Can she play other stuff now, or can she just play the Beatles still?
I don't know. I didn't have the balls to ask her.
I'm kind of curious.
Let's face stalker. I don't remember her name then.
Oh shit, we'd have to look her up. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, I think you're right. Because even my own songs, I forget how to play them sometimes. I don't know what notes I'm even playing, and I kind of depend on you three to know what I'm playing. And I think most of the time you guys hear it and you play it. But I think other band members, if I just walked into a room and was like, okay, here's my song, they'd be like, okay, great, where's the chart? What key is this in? And I'd be like, oh, I have no idea, even though I wrote it,
Well, I think your music and the Down Squad music in general comes from a place of passion and feeling and not this I don't know how to say it, but when you're writing a song and let's say a Nashville standard and you got your blues, your 1-4-5, it's if you hit a note and it's the B, then your 4 is going to be the E and your 5 is going to be the F sharp. And I think there's something so truly genuine about genuine. Genuine.
Genuine.
I'm from that dirty South, y'all. But like, you come from a place of emotion. Like, I don't think I think that if you sat down, like a lot of people in Nashville do, which is fine, no hating, but if you sat down with a songwriter, I think it would literally destroy the authenticity of the songs.
So you think like just the songwriter should just be in their own like zone and their own passion, and then like I think you're right. Like then it makes it better almost.
For the type of music we play, I think we should stay far away from anything that looks like conformity.
Hell
6 feet.
yes. 6 feet. I think you're kind of right. Like, I like the idea of like writing as a band and as a group and stuff, but I've never done that ever. Like, I've only ever written with myself. So I don't know if it would, like, the whole process would be different. And I don't know if the outcome would be different as well. Because I've never co-written really. Like, I've tried and it just never really worked. I've always just been by myself when I write.
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
There's nothing. You do you, babe, and you do good.
But I'm just so grateful to have like the three of you. You're such great musicians. You can just take my like crappy demos and be like, oh, okay, cool. And then, you know, you make your parts better and you make them your own and you like, I don't know, you just make it great.
I think it's cool that you let us do that.
Oh my God, of course. Because I don't know, like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I just make noise. I don't know the proper notes and the key signatures and all that. Like, you guys are able to be like, all right, well, this is, you know, 3/4 time and we got to do this here. And like, you guys are just like, all right, we got this, you know, like you're like the doctors. You surgically put it together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's very organic the way that we do it.
Yeah, for sure. You're absolutely right. Well, you've given me a couple like really good quotes earlier on by accident, but one segment that I've been throwing in here because it happened randomly, people just kind of gave me a quote that they liked. I didn't ask for it. They just gave me one. Hit me with one of your favorite quotes.
Oh, there's a good one I saw recently, and I've been trying to get out of being so negative, and it's the grass is greener where you water it.
Ooh, that is a good one. I like that. I like that a lot.
Because that's true. That's some true shit. I'm laying it down for y'all.
Sherry, life coach 101. That's brilliant, though. You should be a life coach. You're like, so far you're doing great. Well, my friend, that is all the official questions I had for you. Is there anything that you want to talk about?
Oh, should I?
No, you don't.
Should I ask you
I always
something?
just say that people usually are like, no. I always just say that in case I like miss something important.
Oh, I got one for you, Allie.
Yeah, what
do you think makes our band so unique?
What do you think makes it unique? Oh.
Or why do you think people should listen to us or give us a chance?
I don't know. It's kind of like, did you ever see the Bohemian Rhapsody movie? The one about Freddie Mercury? So there's a thing that Freddie Mercury says in that movie that just like it just reminded me of the Down Squad so much. It was like, we're a bunch of misfits playing for another bunch of misfits about misfit things being misfits together. And I was like, oh my God, that's like the Down Squad. Because we're like 4 completely different people. We all have different backgrounds, all have different like musical tastes. And we come together and we make this like thing that I can't even describe in words usually. Like people are like, what kind of music is it? And I'm like, I don't know. You got to just come see it. And like the 4 of us like make it really special, I think. Because we each have like a special ingredient that makes it something. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, baby boo.
What would you say makes it special? Like, why should people listen to us?
Oh my God.
Flipping the switch.
I know why people should come watch us live, because you throw chairs at people. Like, that's literally what I tell people. And then people, they look so confused. They're like, why do I want a chair thrown at me? And I'm like, why would you not?
It's like out of context though. Like, you know, it's all part of the show. I guess randomly, if you're like going to see a band, like you don't expect things to be thrown at you. But I always like to like premise that it's, you know, it's not like guar or anything. Like I'm not like throwing like puke and gross stuff or anything at you. No. I'm just like using props and then getting rid of them promptly, and you may get hit by it on accident. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, it's very tasteful. You're never not in taste. In fact, my husband, you always say, did I go too far? But my husband always says you can go farther.
Oh, he says that I can go farther?
Yeah, he says you need to hold back less.
I didn't know I was holding back. That's good to know, I guess.
Yeah, you
I
can
wasn't.
push.
I mean, I think I could for sure. It's just hard because sometimes, like, I'm always in my head, like, I'm not as much thinking about what I'm singing. I'm more thinking about what I'm gonna do physically on stage. So, like, when we're in the middle of the song, I'm not necessarily thinking about the words really. I'm just thinking about what action I make at the time because
Yeah.
it's such a physically tasking band, you know?
So Allie could seriously be on that TV show Ninja Warrior because literally a show with her is like Ninja Warrior. She's like, oh, there's a beam up there. How can I like jump and hold on to that beam? And then one time she jumped off my 4-stack and did a somersault roll onto the stage and then rolled off onto like the dance floor. I mean, and she's just, and then she didn't miss a beat, like did not miss a beat, just went back in with her vocal line in the chorus and fucking nailed it. And that's why people come to see us.
Oh, you're so sweet. I think it's like you're right though. It's just like the energy that we all provide for people because it's something a little bit different. Because I don't think there's really not like trying to talk shit about other bands or anything, but there's not really a live show in the Nashville area that is quite like what we do. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of great local bands, but there isn't something with this kind of like surge of energy that we have. Like it's just very different.
We're not trying to be pretty. And they come to see that, but then I think people stay because like there's a bigger message. Like you always have something you're trying to say, and like that's why I joined your band, is because I like the message behind all of it, all the noise.
Yeah, and I love how passionate you are. Like we're so passionate about the same things, like feminism. Like one day you just like went on this rant about your rights to have an abortion. You were just so riled up, and there was like a vein sticking out of your head, and you're like, I should be able to do whatever I want with my own body. And I was like, oh my God, Sherry's like the coolest person ever. Like you were just like this rage going through you, because you're absolutely right. I mean, you should have control of your own body. And I love that we're like, we're both all four of us are all for the same kind of things. You know what I mean?
I agree. Thank you for having me, Allie. I love you so much.
I love you. I can't wait to see you in real life again and play music with you.
Hell yeah. I can't wait to slap your bass for you.